Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Fox Valley Voice, the only live YouTube talk show focused on what's going on and around the Fox Valley. Fabulous people, places, and events. My name is Jaime Gutierrez. I am your host, and joining me in the studio to my left, your right, please welcome Mrs. Julie Farris. Should we go with Ms. or Mrs.? You are married.
I am married. And how about just Julie?
How about Julie? Okay. Julie is, as I described her on Facebook, the dynamo behind JMF Events. And we are going to talk about all of the fantastic events that she is involved with as far as planning and coordinating and just making things happen.
Thank you for having me on the show. This is so exciting.
Well, this has been a long time coming because we met a while back, and ever since, you've basically booked almost every guest on my show for me. So
I have more.
I did. Good. So I do have to thank you for that, for sending so many wonderful people my way and helping to introduce me to a lot of your friends and colleagues. Just in case, if you're watching and you don't know Julie, you should, because she knows everybody. So if she doesn't know you, then that means you're not anybody. You're nobody.
Oh, no, that is so not true. That is so not true. Do not listen to Jaime on that.
I'm just kidding. If you don't know Julie, that's just because you haven't met yet.
Absolutely.
But you will.
I would love to meet you.
So, welcome to our viewers and listeners. If you would like to interact with us, we love to hear your comments and questions. So you can find us on Facebook. Just look for us at facebook.com/Fox Valley Voice. And if you are watching us on YouTube, go ahead and just submit a comment right there underneath the video on YouTube, and we will get it, and we'll interact with you. This is an interactive show.
It is interactive, and I'm looking forward to questions.
Julie wants your questions. Also, we forgot to introduce also our other co-host today, sitting across from me. We have Sergeant Porkchop.
Sergeant Porkchop. Sergeant Porkchop is our mascot for firing up the Fox barbecue contest in St. Charles. And so he gets around, and he likes to go out and visit sponsors and activities. The pig has been more places than I have, quite honestly.
Okay.
He has been to Peru. We almost got him to Machu Picchu, but the person had to leave a little early. He's been to Atlanta. He's been to Canada. Been to St. Charles.
Excellent. We could do a little map that says where in the world is Sergeant Porkchop.
Well, and now this is the highlight of Porkchop's life, being on Fox Valley Voice.
Oh, please.
He's excited.
I'm
can
sure
tell.
Peru is much more exciting than the studio. But all right, so we'll get to Sergeant Porkchop in just a little bit. We'll reintroduce him a little bit later. Let me ask you, before we get into all the specifics about all these events that you're doing, how did you end up doing this? You know, I mean, you're Fox Valley event promoter and coordinator extraordinaire. But before that, what did you do?
That's a great title. Thank you. I don't know if I can live up to it, but that's a great title. I've lived my life in the hospitality world. I love giving back to people. We were raised to give back and to volunteer. We started volunteering very young in life, and that always stuck with me. My husband and I have 3 children, and so when they were growing up, I always volunteered. It seemed like I was always that mom that just couldn't say no.
The room mom and...
Yeah, we did a lot of scouts. We got involved in Cub Scouts, and I love that. Actually, so I was a den leader.
Oh, they don't call them den mothers anymore?
I was a den leader, and then I was a pack master.
That's what they called them when I was a kid, den mother.
Yeah, no, a den leader, a little more PC.
Okay.
And actually, I was the pack master at Lincoln School in St. Charles, so throw out to Lincoln School. We love them. And it was such a great time giving back and planning events. I had a hotel industry background, and I honestly never planned on getting to this extent. It wasn't something I dreamed of in life that I was going to be an event planner. But honestly, when it worked out, I found that I'm doing exactly what I love in life. We moved to St. Charles 17 years ago, and when we moved there, we immediately got involved in the community, and there was a ladies' retail event that the Downtown St. Charles Partnership was in charge of, and I got involved. It was a little event called Sisters Weekend, and I love Sisters Weekend, and I was Sister Julie for about 5 out of the 7 years, and right at the tail end of that, the community festival in St. Charles, Pride of the Fox RiverFest, it was going through some transition. It was in its late 20s in age, and it was decided a new group was going to take it on. My best pal, John Olson, and I decided to co-chair it, and then just through a series of weird circumstances, we ended up with the event and no home. And so it was important to us to see the community festival continue. And so John and I had a very serious meeting, and we had never did anything on the scope of RiverFest before, but we decided that we were going to try. And so we created a not-for-profit called Pride of the Fox, and that was in 2009, 2010. And our only event was RiverFest. And then we decided we liked it. It was a little crazy the first year. We had no idea what we were doing, and we had a lot of great community support, volunteers who decided to give us a chance and believe in us, and residents and business owners who knew us and came on board. And so then at that point, we learned. We had people and mentors who taught us how to run the event, thank goodness. And then we added a second event, which spurned out of RiverFest in 2012, which is our barbecue contest. So it wasn't, again, something I planned in life, that I was going to be an event planner, but I'm glad that the opportunities arose, and I was smart enough to say that this is something fun. I want to do this. And now I'm that crazy event lady.
And now you've got a ton of events, some of which we're going to talk about today. So in those early days, though, before we start talking about these events, what would you say was one of the toughest lessons that you had to learn when you just jumped in and just started doing it? Any stories come to mind as far as things going haywire?
Oh, boy. So the first year of RiverFest, when you have an event of that scope and you've never volunteered for it or worked on a project that large, you just don't know what to expect. And I think that kind of was, in a way, a good thing, because we didn't know how to do a bad job or a good job. We just kind of threw ourselves in and did everything. The hardest part in the beginning, the first year, was you work so hard. We worked so many hours. The team just gave all these hours and volunteered, and we get to our first event and it rains all 3 days.
Oh.
And it doesn't just rain. We have 90-mile-an-hour winds coming off of the Fox River. We have to evacuate the dragon boats. I learned some interesting things that year, that I'm a doer and I want to help people, and so I'm seeing these poor crafters and their boots are flying, and so I'm in the middle of an electric storm holding onto a metal tent trying to hold it down, which I was informed later that probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. And then, of course, I evacuated one of the parks to a pavilion, and after the storm rolled through, the group that owns the pavilion informed me that the pavilion normally gets hit by lightning about 4 times a year. So that was something I didn't know. So the first year, we like to say that the first year was really, it was our training, because when you have so many bad things happen, we always prepare for the worst now, no matter what. Every event, every activity, we go in thinking it's going to be horrible, and then we're so excited when it's good.
Mm-hmm.
So the weather, I think, is one of those things that is, as hard as you work and as long as you work, there's not anything you can do about it.
No, there's nothing you can do about it. And it can be extremely disappointing because, I mean, you've promised a lot of people a lot of different things, right? Well, first and foremost, you promised the residents a festival, right? You've promised them a good time. You're supposed to come out, eat, drink, dance, listen to music, the whole thing.
And not just a good time. We are charged with planning the Residents Festival.
Right.
So this is the community event for the community, and they're harsh critics. This is their event. They want to showcase themselves. They want to see all the fun things in St. Charles. They want beautiful sunny weather, and we can give them everything except the last.
Right. In addition to the residents who have high standards, you've got a lot of sponsors and partners who have dedicated a lot of their time and resources and money to helping you put on this event, and in return they're hoping for, you know, some brand recognition and awareness and possible, new business, right?
Absolutely. And sponsorship, we could not do the events we do without our sponsors. The not-for-profit Pride of the Fox, which we're focusing on JMF Events, and that is one of our organizations, but I'm actually lucky enough that we have two. So we started with Pride of the Fox, which is our not-for-profit, and I'm the executive director. And then we have JMF Events, which is our for-profit line. Nothing that we do, either company, could be successful with our events without our sponsors. We have sponsors who have mentored me, and I'll throw this out to my friend Robin at Xfinity. When I did my first sales call, Jaime, to Xfinity, it's a lot different from just going to a friend that you know with a smaller business in town that knows you. This is major, and I was very nervous, probably more nervous than doing your show. And
you don't seem nervous right now.
I'm shaken.
Oh my gosh.
I went into Xfinity the first time, and I had all of my information. I had this great slideshow presentation, and I went in and I presented all this, and Robin, the marketing director, just had really pointed questions for me. And she made me think of things that I wouldn't normally have. And it's been so incredible because they're still with us this many years later. And I talked to her the other day, and I complimented her on being our mentor. And I equate our success to mentors like her who wouldn't just settle for, okay, well, we're going to just do this poster, or we're just going to put you here. I want to know exactly, Julie, what you're going to do for us, and why you're doing it, and why we should choose your events over all these other great events in town. And here's how much we love our sponsors, and hopefully they love us. This year, we had a phone call from a major radio station, actually US 99. And so they contacted us because they wanted to be at RiverFest. Very, very rarely in sponsorship do people call you. It never happens.
Right, you gotta tackle them and hunt them down, right?
Always. And then you have to get past, as we lovingly like to call the person at the front desk, the dragon at the front desk, who is the barrier. And
I believe the official term is gatekeeper.
The gatekeeper. The dragon gatekeeper. So when that just threw me completely off. That was funny.
Sorry.
No, I like that. I'm going to switch to gatekeeper now. So I get this call, and I'm so excited, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we are getting such a great reputation out there that these big radio stations are calling us. We have a great reputation. That's not why they called us. They called because Xfinity also works with them, and Robin had mentioned to them, this is a great event, and you should look into it.
Oh, man.
And so
It's got to make you feel good.
It made me feel so wonderful and humbled at the same time that someone in a massive company like that, nationwide, of that caliber, thinks that our events in St. Charles are good enough that they want to bring in their partners also.
Right, because there's nothing really in it for her.
Absolutely not.
She's not getting anything out of it other than, just helping to spread the good word about your event. And that is a direct reflection on how you run your event. So congratulations to you.
Thank you, thank you. And she's just one example. We have so many sponsors of every event, and what we like to do is once we work with a sponsor and they see what our value is and what we can bring to their organization, then we bring them to the next event and the next event and the next event. And the sponsors love it because they know who they're working with and they know the expectation levels on both sides. I know exactly what they expect out of me, and they know what I expect out of them. So we've been very fortunate that some of the sponsors we started with in the beginning are coming over now to our new events.
Mm-hmm. Well, continued success as far as the sponsorships go, because I know that can be challenging, probably one of the most challenging parts of putting on these events, because someone has to pay for it.
Sponsorship is you're right. Sponsorship is the hardest part of my job because it's social, it's relationships. People feel better when they do business with someone they know and they trust.
Mm.
And quite honestly, I make a point of meeting every sponsor that we have.
That's a good policy.
I've turned down sponsors before because we weren't the right fit for them. Once I find out what they really truly want to achieve, if we can't deliver it, I'm very honest and let them know. Because I don't want to have a bad reputation of just, we'll take your money and we'll stick you somewhere, and next year we'll find someone else.
Well, and it's got to be difficult, I imagine, because event sponsorship, it doesn't seem like something where you could tell someone, this is going to affect your bottom line this way. I mean, it's not like they see it right away, So it's got to be more about, community involvement and brand awareness and things like that.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it very much is.
Okay.
Some companies are out there and they are not selling anything. They are strictly out there to let the community know what they can offer to them. We have other companies who, like Xfinity, they actually do signups. And so I'm going to trump our own horn a little bit. 2 years ago, Xfinity told us that in our category in the Chicago market, we were rated their most successful event. And I asked, how do you rank success? And they rank success by signups.
Okay. And
so we were so excited to see that the sponsor is getting exactly what they want out of our event. And they love it because it's not just the event that you get recognition at. In a case with Xfinity, our sand sculptures, they live on every year through all the pictures of the sand sculptures.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this year, while we're talking sand sculptures, at RiverFest is our 20th anniversary of sand sculptures. We are celebrating big this year, Jaime.
Okay, let's get into this. All right, so sand sculptures, this is going to be at the City of St. Charles Pride of the Fox RiverFest, taking place very, very soon. June 6th, 7th, and 8th, which is not this weekend, but next weekend.
We kick off a week from this Friday.
Are we ready?
We are as ready as we'll ever be. People ask me that all the time when we go into the last 2 weeks of events, and it's my busiest time. We're putting out a lot of fires. We're getting phone calls from vendors, from attendees who just have questions. And of course, there's so many last minute things that you have to lock down. RiverFest this year, and actually our title sponsor and our official name is the City of St. Charles RiverFest. So I'd like to throw out a thank you to the City of St. Charles for believing in us and believing in the Residents Fest, that they actually stepped up to title sponsor this event. So again, I want to throw out to the City of St. Charles and to our Mayor Ray and all of our aldermen and Mark Keenan, our city administrator, for stepping up and supporting our event.
Excellent. That would have been funny if a different city had stepped in to be the title sponsor. Have you ever looked into that?
We actually have spoke about that, and I believe that the City of St. Charles would really love to keep RiverFest as City of St. Charles RiverFest.
Yeah.
It just would lose its effect as the City of Geneva's RiverFest in St. Charles.
Or Waukesha.
Waukesha, Wisconsin. It would be a stretch, but it would be kind of fun.
But hey, money talks, so... Money
talks, and we're very lucky that the City of St. Charles sees the benefits of their sponsorship package.
I'm just messing around with the City of St. Charles. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, please do. We have, the interesting thing there, Jaime, is I have to prove myself to the city of St. Charles, just like I do every other sponsor. And I go in every year with their sponsorship package. I show them on the recap what we promised, and then I show them what we over-delivered on. And then immediately I give them the next year's contract and ask for sponsorship on the next year.
Strike while the iron is hot.
Absolutely. But the amazing thing is it's not something that I know I'm going to get every year. It's something that is based solely on our performance. And if we don't perform and deliver to our sponsors, our title, and all of our sponsors, we won't have them back next year. Yeah. And then it may be the city of Waukesha, Wisconsin's RiverFest.
Hey, we're doing a screen share right now so the folks watching can see what we're doing. So why don't you take us on a little tour of the RiverFest website, and we will talk about all the different things that we can look forward to here next weekend.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to say that this is going to be the largest RiverFest to date.
Largest in terms of activities?
Size, activities.
Excellent.
In 2012, we celebrated our 30th birthday party. And at the time, we had said we were going to make it large and add all these activities. And when the weekend was done, we all looked at each other and said, we will never do that again. We are going to size it back to like 6 or 7 venues, which is reasonable. Uh-huh. This year we're at 10 venues.
Yes.
And we have activities spanning the whole downtown. Our tagline is actually something for everyone, and we truly believe that we have accomplished that. We have activities for dogs, activities for kids, for adults, men, women, sports nuts, music lovers. And actually, one of the things I'm extremely proud of is a new addition we added this year. In conversations many months ago with another organization in town, they kind of just threw out casually, hey, Julie, your tagline is something for everyone. But what about special needs? Mm-hmm. And it kind of set me back a little bit. And I said, I guess we don't have something for everyone. And I went back to our committee. And the first night that we had the committee meeting to talk about this, we had a new committee member. And when I approached the idea of doing a special family night for families with special needs members, Taylor, our new committee member, you have to love new volunteers. They're wonderful. Taylor stood up and said, I want to take that over because I have a special needs member in my family, and that's important to me. And I think if you're going to do it, we want to be a part of it. And so originally the thought was we would just have a carnival night, and they could go to the carnival, the families, and ride some free carnival rides. And so then all of a sudden it evolved. And right now we have, I believe, 15 sponsors that are just sponsoring the special family night. Blue Goose Market in the heart of our downtown is going to be the host location. So the registrants will go to the Blue Goose, and we will have all these great activities there, including sponsors who will be out there with information about what's available, resources in King County for your family. We'll also have the dietitian from the Blue Goose. It will be out there cooking and also giving out recipes about family-friendly menus. Then the Bike Rack and Project Mobility are going to have specially made bikes for people with disabilities that they'll be able to try. We're going to have some free food, some ice cream, some pizza, and then Xfinity has supplied wristbands, which Windy City, along with Pride of the Fox, has underscored this event. All of our attendees will be able to go to the carnival and ride for 3 hours of free rides at the carnival. And so, again, it all came together. It's just free carnival rides, and now we've got this activity location where people can go and have some free food and get some resources and still go on some carnival rides. So when we started, we thought maybe we'd get like 30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
Yesterday in the office, we're about 500 people right now.
500 people who are looking to take part in this special needs
family night that have registered through the website. So we had to make a decision last night we're going to have to send a cap at about 550. because if not, we don't know what this is going to grow into. But what we did find out is there's a big need for what we're doing.
Right.
And so we're already planning 2015 and how we can tweak this to even make it better, that we can offer it to more people. So next year we may be at 1,000 or 1,500 people.
That's unbelievable. I mean, it's I guess if I think about it, you know, that community, I mean, they're very tight knit, you know, as far as families who are who have special needs members. And so word probably spread pretty quickly when they found out that there was going to be this special event set aside for them.
Absolutely. Our partners, Special Olympics, Fox Valley Special Rec, once we told them what we were doing, they all jumped on board. Yeah. And they are spreading the word to all of the people that they know, which, again, every day we're watching faxes and emails and checking the website numbers, and they're flying up, which tells us that it was needed.
Mm. Well, excellent. I'm so glad that that is now a part of the RiverFest, and you know that can only enhance the stature of your event.
Well, it truly makes our tagline true now.
Now
something
you
for
do
everyone.
have something for everyone.
I'd like to think so, and of course, someone else is going to hit me with something.
Yeah. How about paintballers?
See, someone else is going to hit me with something we don't have. So, on our defense.
I'm just kidding. We don't want any weapons at RiverFest.
Exactly. Why I like paintballing, and I think it is kind of fun activity.
We should set something up this summer.
That would be fun. And actually, I'd like to bring like some of our volunteers and come have a volunteer play date.
There we go. Look for that.
So,
right, so yeah, let's take a look here. So
RiverFest.
What do we want to do? Do we want to focus on the venues? Do we want to go straight to the schedule? How do you want to do this?
Well, let's chat a little bit about the event. And I actually have the official program that just was dropped off this morning from the printer at my office. So I grabbed the first one and brought it with us. Okay. So RiverFest is really known for 3 icons. Our first icon is on the water. We are one of 2 locations in the state of Illinois that offers sanctioned dragon boat racing. If you have never been on a dragon boat.
Sanctioned. Now, there's an official dragon boat organization?
Oh, my goodness. So there is a U.S. association, and there's also a worldwide association. We are extremely lucky that our coordinator is actually a member of the U.S. team and has gone and raced internationally. He's been to Prague. We follow him around the world, and we post photos of his team racing. Dragon boat racing is the ultimate team sport. It takes 20 people to row those incredible boats. You have to have a flagger, which, as you're seeing now, that young girl who is getting ready to grab the flag, the flaggers, they hang off the head of those boats. Almost half their body is hanging off the boat to grab that flag. And so you create your team of 20 and you race. The great thing is we have 2 divisions. So you're not racing against someone who is a professional in the sport of dragon boat racing. You're racing against some backyard warriors. Mm-hmm. And actually, the fun part is on our not-for-profit, our board president, Ed Besner, is the head of the City of St. Charles Dragon Boat team. And so we give him a little grief every year because we're like, you're our board president now. You need to make sure you get the first place here and make us look good. And especially now since he's representing 2 of us. He's representing us as our board president, but he's also representing the City of St. Charles as our title sponsor. So
that's a lot of pressure.
Ed has a lot of pressure to make sure that the team wins.
I hope he's training right this very moment.
Oh, actually, the boats arrive this Sunday. And our teams, every team gets an opportunity to train with people who know exactly what they're doing. So they'll come out all next week. And if you are just hanging out on a beautiful night and looking for something to do, come down to Potawatomi Park in St. Charles, Monday through Thursday of next week, 5:30 on. And you'll get to see the teams practice. It's so much fun.
Nice.
And of course, so on the water, we also have our award-winning water ski show team from the Wonder Lake ski team.
Okay, are they on here somewhere?
Their picture was on the main stage or on the main screen. If you roll down a little bit,
Okay. No.
Now, actually, just roll down, Jaime, and you'll be able to.
Down here?
Yeah, there they are on the left, on the water.
Oh. If I click on that, is that going to do anything?
You can click on it and see. I'm not the webmaster, thank goodness. There's the water ski team.
Okay.
So they perform on Saturday and Sunday on the Fox River at 1 p.m. They've been with us for years, and every year they change the show up. We have a great big ramp out there in the water. And actually, Batavia Enterprises is making the water ski show happen this year as the sponsor.
Oh, thank you, Batavia Enterprises.
They are wonderful. We love them for helping us out to bring these great activities. And the other thing we've added on the water this year, this is so exciting, we are doing kayak demonstrations on the Fox River this year, and we have a great sponsor called Quest Water Sports who is bringing out their kayaks, their paddle boards, and their wind boats, I believe. And so attendees will get to try them for free, do a free demo on the Fox River and get in a kayak and see if you like it.
Very nice.
We've got a lot of fun water activities, and then we're also known for our incredible main stage.
Okay.
And our main stage, we bring in bands from all over Chicago. We focus on St. Charles because we love our community, and we look at the main stage as this great opportunity to give new bands a showcase. And we have one of the largest and best stages and festivals in this area. And so to play on our stage, the bands love it. And we have done everything over the years from Battle of the Bands with students. And for 3 years when we had the battle, the winning band was actually hired to open the main stage the following year. And we actually paid them. I'm sad to say that this is the first year that the band has broken up.
Oh.
That's never happened to us before, that the winning band broke up. So it was a little downer, but we made a couple of changes. And so we're showcasing 15 bands this year on the main stage. And we have, the lineup is incredible. We have everything from...
Here we go. Okay.
We have everything from a crooner, Johnny Maggio, who is the manager of the Arcada Theater in St. Charles, and he is the epitome of the crooner. He just gets out and he sings, and he's wonderful. On Friday night, Hillbilly Rock Stars, they're a new band to RiverFest, and we think they are so much fun. And actually, to top them off, we're bringing out the dance team from the Cadillac Ranch to teach line dancing.
There you go.
Dirty Dan's Cool Rockin' Daddies is another band we love. And a fun little tidbit about Dan is actually from St. Charles and grew up in St. Charles. And then on Saturday, the McCartans are from Geneva. They're a great band that plays a lot of surfers music, Beach Boys.
Nice. Yeah.
Sonic 7, so now we're getting into mid-afternoon on Saturday, and we kind of pick up the pace a little bit, starting to rock out a little bit more. Sonic 7 and Evolution are both new bands to RiverFest. And then, of course, our headliner on Saturday, whom this is their second year with us, and we love these guys, Modern Day Romeos. A fun tidbit about Modern Day Romeos, there was a competition this year by WGN to create the new Cubs song, and NDR won.
Well, congratulations to the Modern Day Romeos.
So
they probably got to play down there in Wrigleyville for winning that contest, huh?
I think they did, and actually we're pretty excited. We're hoping that they'll play it on our stage.
I bet if you ask nicely, they will.
I think they will. The guys are pretty good. We really like them. And then on Sunday, this is something completely new for us also. One of our title sponsors of the stage, which is 103.9 The Fox, is they started last year at RiverFest, right around that time, a new segment. And the station manager was telling me about it. It was called The Garage. And I'm like, that sounds kind of fun. Tell me the premise. And the premise was every band starts in a garage. And so they have a whole program, and they bring in local bands from Chicago, and they give them pretty much like you do, they give them a place to showcase their skills, and they do a radio show where they talk to them about why they started and how they started, and then they play some music, they play some originals, they play some cover groups. So When they threw this out last year to me, I had said, I love the idea. If it takes off, let's talk about it next year at RiverFest. Mm-hmm. So Ryan and I, the station manager, had a great conversation and decided to bring the live radio show to RiverFest. So
Nice.
It's the first time they've done it on the road. It's the first time for us ever doing a radio show at RiverFest. So we'll have 3 bands that are going to be focused on. And Ryan Wild, the station, he's one of the DJs there. Ryan will be interviewing them. They'll play some songs, and he'll just talk to them. And then the segment will be taped, and it will be played back on the radio during the garage segment.
Oh, nice.
We're so excited about that. We actually are bringing something back that was a main stage a long time ago, our bachelor auction. And we are up to 10 very handsome bachelors who are going to let us raffle them off for charity.
Okay, and what are these bachelors expected to do once they've been raffled?
Well, so they're going to get on stage. They had a fun little questionnaire that they had to answer. Everything from boxers to briefs. Why should a lady bid on you? And so we got really fun answers. And I suggest everyone go to Facebook, excuse me, our Facebook page and take a look at it. But what we're going to do is the bids start at $50, and the bachelors all had to choose a charity of choice. All the money that is raised through them will go to their charity. Our other main stage title sponsor, which is the Arcata Theater, and my buddy Ron Onesti. Mm-hmm. Ron is actually supplying tickets to the theater for every winning couple. And so they'll have a date night, they'll have dinner at a local St. Charles restaurant, and then they'll go on a date night to the Arcata or a friend play date. Just to go and meet someone new and hang out. And all the bachelors are helping their not-for-profit charities.
Okay. This might be a silly question, but do you have to verify that all of these gentlemen are actually bachelors?
Jaime, I didn't think I could be stumped on the show, but I think you might have. Well, we have not personally checked each one of them. I think maybe, would you like to be on that team to help me investigate each one? We can look for band. We can look for little ring.
It's been sunny out lately, so if they've been wearing a ring, you can tell.
So we'll look for that.
Maybe follow them home. Make sure that they're not have the wife and kids running out to greet them.
I'm thinking that since we've posted them on Facebook, chances are if they have a wife, the wife will be contacting us or showing up at the stage. So here's something. Why doesn't everyone come out to the Bachelor Auction on Sunday, June 8th and see if any wives show up?
There could be some extra drama there that maybe was not intended.
I'm thinking that all these bachelors are single, just wanting to help their favorite charity out.
Okay.
And let's just stick with that answer.
Good. All right.
So then just to round off Sunday at the main stage, we have the Homewreckers, which is an awesome rhythm and blues band.
Right after the Bachelor Auction is the Homewreckers?
The Homewreckers, yeah, I know. It's kind of an oxymoron. Isn't it a little funny? And, of course, we didn't catch that until you just pointed it out.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And then we're ending our main stage with a group that is just near and dear to my heart, One Sam 10. They are a local St. Charles group that is made up of police and firemen. And actually, the gentleman in the cowboy hat there is our acting chief of police in St. Charles at the moment, Steve Huffman, and he was very funny. I met Steve a couple years ago, probably 4 years ago, at RiverFest. He was one of the officers watching it, and he came up to me right after we took it over, I think the first or second year, and he's like, you have the same bands on your stage every year. And I said, well...
Yeah, and I was going to mention something like that because, you mentioned several bands that you're having on the main stage that you said were new to RiverFest, and I think that is key because, there are festivals you go to and you think to yourself, haven't we heard these guys 20 times before? So I think that's important to have some new acts on the bill.
When we took over RiverFest and we, after the first year when we knew nothing and we started getting into everything and kind of learning, we found that 2 bands had played RiverFest stage for 9 years in a row. And they were just rotated every day. Every year they were rotated a date. And while these two bands are incredible and have a great following in Chicago, we wanted to do something different with our stage. And we wanted to use this stage as a way that you could see bands that you're not going to see every single weekend. You can see bands that are up and coming. And I like to tell people all the time that you may find your next favorite band at our festival. I didn't know Modern Day Romeos until I saw them. And I was floored at how energetic and how much the crowd loved them. And that's how we discovered them. And we discover all of our bands. So when Sam 10 had kind of thrown that off, the comment, same bands. And I said, okay, well, what, are you in a band? And he's like, well, yes, I am. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I actually got to meet him a little bit more. And in a conversation, I had said, well, it's easy to make comments, but if you really think that there should be a change, why don't you join our committee and make a difference? And so he did. And through joining new people on our committees, we actually started making rules in effect on the main stage that a band will not play the main stage longer than 2 years in a row. Because it's not fair. And I mean, we get over 300 band submissions a year.
There are a lot of talented people out there, and they need a shot as well.
Incredibly talented, from little kids to old rockers. And we want to be the place that everyone has a chance to showcase. And we've been questioned about bringing new bands in. I've been questioned about the mix of genres. And I like how we mix our genres up. I don't want to have the same groups that sound the same out there. Again, going into the tagline, something for everyone, I think it's pretty cool that we can have a crooner to some rockers to some, quite honestly, some surf music and everything in between. I think it's wonderful.
I do too. I'm definitely going to have to check out the crooner because that's right up my alley. You know, the old-fashioned, singing the standards, like you said, Sinatra, Dean Martin, kind of that stuff, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And so then, our last kind of icon that we're known for is our sand sculptures. And when people ask me what RiverFest is about, I say, well, it is similar to other community fests, except we add some fun little twists in. And the sand sculptures are a fun twist. There's not many festivals you can go where people dump out 40 tons of sand and bring in a world record holder to create an incredible sculpture. And actually what you're looking at there is from our 30th birthday party in 2012. Xfinity has actually sponsored the sand sculptures for 4 years. And to celebrate 20 years, what we've decided to do is to go kind of large. We are having a contest. And thanks to Xfinity and Lafarge Fox River Stone, both of these sponsors stepped up to sponsor an individual sand sculpture. So we are going to have a contest at RiverFest. We'll have 2 sculptures being created by 2 world record holders in 2 different locations, and all the attendees get to go to the sculptures, see what's happening, talk to the artist, and then vote for your favorite team. And then at the end of the weekend, we'll tally all the votes and we'll make the announcement about which team is actually the winning sand sculpture team.
Fabulous. Where do you find world record sand sculptors?
Crystal Lake.
Really?
Crystal Lake, Illinois.
Okay. I would have guessed somewhere a little more beachy, but...
No, actually, Ted Siebert, the owner of the Sand Sculpture Company, is someone we inherited when we took over RiverFest, and we fell in love with Ted. He is this incredible visionary. He has all these wonderful dreams and thinks of these crazy sand sculptures and then brings them to RiverFest and does them every year. And actually, Teddy just got back from competing in the international sand sculpture competition in Kuwait, where they had over a mile of sand sculptures, and it was a month-long exhibition where people could come in and see the sand sculptures. We follow him on Facebook because his work is so incredibly talented. And that's actually a picture from, again, our 2012 sand sculpture when we celebrated 30 years birthday.
Cool. Did you know that this page is in Latin?
I did not know that. So that means that our so I'm going to do a call out to our web designers and ask that if you could please, if you're listening, go to our Municipal Center sand sculpture page and remove the Latin words and replace those.
Yeah, I hate to bust you out like that on the live broadcast, but
I would expect nothing less, Jaime.
sorry about that. But I have seen the sculptures, and they're huge. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the scope just from looking at a photo, but these things are like, they're bigger than the average person. I mean, they're like 10, 12 feet tall, aren't they?
They can go up to 10, 12 feet tall. Actually, I've seen one a little bit larger than that, and then width-wise, 10, 15 feet wide.
It takes up the whole parking lot right there at the City Hall, doesn't it?
It does, and actually, that's a really good photo, too, from Xfinity. That one puts it in perspective. That is actually from last year, and you can see
yeah, they're huge.
The scope of it. That actually was a fun one. Ted created that drawing when he was in France and was looking at all these towers and envisioned an Xfinity tower family.
Oh.
So as you're clicking through, you can see all these fun activities. And so with the 10 venues, what we try to do is we try to theme every venue. And so we have a children and family zone, which on Friday night, we bring a big inflatable screen in and we do movie night under the stars.
Excellent.
We have on Saturday night at that same zone, we do teen night. And this is the first time for us. We're having all teen bands. And we wanted to create a safe haven for teenagers to hang out in.
For teenagers to text each other.
Well, text and, and yeah.
Sorry, that was a low blow. I'm sorry, teenagers, if you're listening, which you're not.
They're probably not, but they might like Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm kind of beyond that. My kids are a little older, so.
Okay, well, remind me before you go today. We have to do an Instagram with Sergeant Porkchop.
Sergeant Porkchop. It'll show up on his page because he likes showing off with people.
Okay.
So RiverFest, let me throw a couple more things and then we'll move on to our next event.
Yeah, because we're running out of time here.
This is amazing. So
wait, for those of you at home, Julie was afraid that we weren't going to have enough to talk about today, and we've only got about 12 minutes left.
Oh no.
And we've got like 7 more events that we got to hit.
So we have 4 more, but
okay.
I'd like to just invite everyone down to RiverFest. We have everything from children's zone to we have a barbecue themed venue with racing pigs, Swifty Swine racing pigs. We have a Native American village and gathering, which we're featuring world-renowned dancers who will be out there dancing, and we'll have authentic teepees that people will be able to walk through and talk with people, interactive. We also have a military zone with military vehicles. We have a crafter zone. We have a dog show. We have commercial vendors, incredible food, and I know I'm missing a million other things, but I invite everyone, go to our website, www.prideofthefox.com, and our schedule is on there. You can find something for everyone.
Is it .com or .net?
I knew you were going to throw me out because I saw you look at it.
I've got .net right here.
We own both. So .com just is directed to .net.
Okay, all right.
So either one you type in, you will find us.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
You'll find us, absolutely.
All right. Hey, Jamie Sam is out there. Hi, Jamie. Thank you for listening. She is letting us know that she is definitely going to be at RiverFest to check out Ryan Wild, who she says is her cousin. Did you know that?
I did not. Jamie, that is such a small world. Ryan is wonderful, and of course he's your cousin because you're wonderful too. And what a small world.
Very fun. All right, so that's RiverFest, and also I'm just going to throw in a personal plug here, if you don't mind.
I would like you to.
But I'm going to be participating in a couple of different things. First, we're going to be walking around trying to hit most, if not all, of the venues. We're going to be filming
our happy video.
The happy video. So everybody by now is very familiar with Farrell's #1 hit song, Happy. And something that has happened here over the past couple months is that people all over the world have been making their own versions and uploading them to YouTube. So we are going to do the official City of St. Charles RiverFest Happy video.
And I'm so excited
So
you're doing that.
So be on the lookout for us. I'm thinking we're going to have to get like some really bright happy face t-shirts or something, just so people know who we are.
And that's a great idea. I was thinking that the video camera might tip them off.
Well, there's that too, but we don't want people thinking that we're creeps and just, you know, like...
That's true. That's true. I'll have a name badge for
I mean, we
you.
might be creeps, but we want to at least pretend like we're there in some official capacity.
We would like that, and we'll make sure of that. And then also, you are emceeing a little bit on our stage this year for me.
So on Saturday, I'm going to get up and introduce one of the bands and make some announcements and try to get everybody excited. And so that's going to be a lot of fun for me. And I appreciate you allowing me to participate.
Oh my gosh, I thank you. You have this wonderful voice, this great presence, and we have so many great MCs, including our friends from 103.9. We also have Ron Onesti from the Arcada, our mayor, and of course, Jaime. So it's going to be wonderful.
Well, I appreciate just being mentioned in that group of distinguished local people. It makes me feel good, and you know, I'm going to do my best.
You're going to be wonderful. That's why we chose you.
So yeah, look out for that. And we've got a question here from Shazad. You knew this was coming.
I did know Shazad. Shazad Merchant is a business owner in St. Charles and actually one of our sponsors. And Shazad had sent a note, how do I judge my success and what milestones do I want to achieve? And
he also says hi to you and me. So.
Yes, and he does say hi. Hi, Shazad.
Hi, Shazad. So you are very successful at all of these community events, pulling all these volunteers and sponsors and residents and bands and everybody together. And so I know that I probably speak for Shazad when I say that you are one of my personal heroes.
My gosh, thank you.
And so I think what he's trying to say and what I would really like to know as well is, you know, how do you feel about this? I mean, are there any keys that you can share with us, or
success is so hard to rate because it's not just one component. With any event, you look at everything, and you may be successful in some areas and not in others, but overall the event is a success. If I on any of the community events, if the community comes out and supports it, that's success. Mm-hmm. Financially, if we are in the black, that's success. If we can bring new activities to our event, that's a success. We can have a successful weekend and have a rain out. So it's all just, it's such a mix of things. And quite honestly, I'm my worst critic. I've never given myself a grade higher than a B on any event I do. I give our team it because the crazy thing is everyone says all these wonderful things about me, and really it's not me. None of these events would occur without the sponsors, but most especially all these dedicated volunteers who step up and give personal time to make them successful.
Absolutely. I'm
just the mouthpiece, I like to think. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but sometimes I feel like, okay, we'll just put Julie out there because she'll say it. And so I'm the mouthpiece, but honestly, the success, honestly, is all attributed to all of the people who come out and work so hard to make it happen.
Okay. So I think now that I've gleaned a couple of your keys to success, even though you didn't tell me. One is make sure that you give everyone else the credit. And number two is don't be complacent. Does that sound about right?
You can never be complacent in life. I mean, that's just in general. I try never to be complacent, and I hope that the teams that I work with are not complacent either, that we're always looking for the next opportunity, the next big idea, the next way to have fun.
All right. So there you go, Shazad. Hopefully that answers your question. We gotta get to a couple of these other events. We got 5 minutes left, Julie.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw them all out, and because I want to plug every one of these because they're such incredible events. And if you would ever have me back, I would love to come back and talk more about them.
The door is open. I might not be here, so you might have to do it yourself.
That's not a problem. And I'd say, don't ever say the door's open, because I'll be hanging out here all the time. Hey, Jaime, can I be on your show today, please? So one of the other activities through our not-for-profit, one of our events, is called Firing Up the Fox Barbecue Contest, and that's in July. That's actually a professional barbecue contest, and we're working with the Kane County Board to have that named as the official barbecue of Kane County. The governor
Excellent.
just made it an official championship race of the state. It's located in St. Charles. We bring in professional competitors from around the Midwest and the country, and they'll come and compete. And then we also have amateurs and kids that compete. And it's just a lot of fun. It's like pitmasters on TV. You get to see all the competitors. You get to go up and talk with them. We also will have demo classes for free that you can come up and learn from some of these world record holders about how is the best way to rub the meat and how is the best way to pick your seasonings out.
And this is Sergeant Porkchop's event, right?
This is Sergeant Porkchop's event, and so he'll be there, and he'll be at RiverFest too, at the barbecue themed venue where he is going to be hosting that. And you'll probably see him pig surfing at a couple of our events because he likes to get down and party. So the barbecue, I invite everyone to come out, check out our webpage on that, and then our for-profit company. I love the arts, and I have a unique opportunity to be a part of 2 art shows, one up in Algonquin called Art on the Fox, and then one in Batavia called Art in Your Eye. Both of these are fine art festivals, or fine art shows. The Batavia show is actually a festival. Excuse me, and I'm so excited about this because we are expanding. This festival has such an incredible reputation and brings in really talented artists. And what we're going to do now is we're expanding on it to add a main stage, and we're also trying to bring in art from all different areas and genres in multimedia and the music end, and maybe even some food end. And so you'll see a lot of changes at that, but the nucleus of the art show is going to stay the same. We're going to focus on fine art and bringing art into Batavia in the community. We're kicking that off with an art walk, and we're going to have statues throughout downtown Batavia, and then it'll go into Art in Your Eye in September. The last event that I want to plug, and actually take it from here, Jaime, I got to get a drink of water.
Okay, so I'm going to stall a little bit while Julie gets a sip. But we are going to talk about the Bob Leonard 5K, 10K River Run and Walk. Easy for me to say.
Say that a couple of times quick. This is an event that is in St. Charles, and actually our JMF Events was just hired to do the production of it. So we're just starting on this event. This and Art in Your Eye Festival are our 2 new events this year. We're very excited about the Bob Leonard 5K. Started out as a 5K run and walk. This year we're adding a 10K, and actually we're going to make it a little more adventurous. It's not just going to be on the street. You're going to have some rugged terrain to go through. We'll take you in some beautiful settings through downtown. We'll have our K9 companion run, and then we'll have our 5K run and also our 5K community walk. And Bob Leonard was a gentleman in our community that really believed in our river walk and focused on that. And his legacy, his family has created this along with the St. Charles River Corridor Foundation. And it's just such a joy to be involved in it. And I've never done a 5K, so it's going to be interesting. Actually, my goal was this year to run that 5K, and now I will be running it in a different sense, production-wise. So,
but you're still running, so
I'm still loosely running the term, but I'm very excited. It's a great community event.
Is that why you agreed to actually produce the event, because you didn't want to run?
That would have been a good excuse. No, actually, Jaime, quite honestly, all 5 events, the reason why I work on them and I love them so much is they're all community events. None of these are standalone, just, we come in your community, we do the event, we leave. These truly are community events, and they bring out the community and they focus on communities, and I love that part of it. So every focus on all of them would be the strong community end of them.
We've got one more comment here, and it's from Leah. It's either Hops or Hoppies. Do we know?
Hi,
know
Leah.
Leah?
I do know Leah, and Leah is wonderful. Leah is on our, she's on the RiverFest team. She just joined us this year and is actually doing our marketing. She owns a company in St. Charles, and I met her through another one of your guest hosts, Scott Piner.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott introduced me to Leah. Leah is wonderful and is helping to keep me on track on the marketing for Pride of the Fox.
Well, Leah says, great job, Julie. So,
Oh, that is wonderful.
and we all say, great job, Julie. We say, keep up the good work, and you are more than welcome to come back anytime you like.
Thank you.
I told you there was no reason to be nervous, right?
You are such a wonderful host, and you're so professional at what you do that you put me at ease so easily. And you can give me the $20 later.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. All right. Well, we would like to thank Julie Farris from Pride of the Fox Inc. and JMF Events for joining us today and sharing all of these wonderful events and activities with us. Make sure that you check out all of the. We've got all of these websites posted. You can find her on Facebook as well. But City of St. Charles Pride of the Fox RiverFest is coming up next, June 6, 7, 8. So we want to see you out there. And let's hope for beautiful, perfect weather.
Last weekend, the St. Charles Art Fair, the art festival, just had their show, and they had beautiful weather. So I am keeping my fingers crossed that that is setting the tone for all events in King County, because the worst thing that can happen to an event planner is to get a rain out. And so whether it's our event or not, we just wish every event planner in King County beautiful weather, and we want beautiful weather. So please do your weather dance for us.
Okay, I will do that. And just in case Plan B is, we'll just head to one of the local taverns and...
Well, we're a rain or shine event, so you can just come and watch me stand in the rain.
But that's not going to happen, so we won't have to worry about that.
It's going to be beautiful.
All right. So thank you, Julie, once again for being here. Thank you to our listeners and viewers for participating. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all those good things. Make sure you like and follow and subscribe and share and all those things. Just look for Fox Valley Voice. FoxValleyVoice.com as well if you want to look at my extremely outdated website that hasn't been updated for maybe since last year. I don't know. YouTube's really the best place to see all the shows, so check that out.
If you
Facebook.
need some Latin for your website, let me know.
Okay.
We can set you up. We can help you reword some stuff.
That might that might be a solution for me. We'd also like to thank some of our friends and sponsors as well. Neighbors Magazines.
Wonderful.
Yes, good people. If you live or work in St. Charles, Geneva, Batavia, or North Aurora, then you will receive a Neighbors Magazine every 2 months in the mail. So please keep an eye out for that. Also, we would like to thank Drendel and Jansen's Law Group in Batavia for sponsoring our video services. We'd also like to send a shout out to another magazine, Downtown Auroran Magazine. They are taking your votes for the best of Aurora and surrounding communities, so go to downtownaurorian.wordpress.com. And also, last but not least, Bureau Gravity, also in downtown Aurora. They are a holistic, subscription-based marketing company helping you bring your story to market. They can be found at bureaugravity.com. Thanks again, and we will talk to you next time. We'll see you at the festival. Bye-bye.